Hello everyone, my name is Arthur and you are watching Game School. In every Call of Duty, most used guns tend to be ARs and SMGs. So today, since there aren't probably going to be any new assault rifles added to the game, I'm going to be ranking every AR according to my personal experience. I'll also be leaving my preferred setup in the description, so if you want to, you can check it out. Number 12, the Oden. Ever since the launch of Modern Warfare, every assault rifle has had its time to shine, except for the Oden. Its high recoil and low fire rate of only 435 RPMs make this gun very hard to use effectively. That, combined with its low mobility, small mag size, and low reload speed, make this gun a low tier weapon and not recommended for a casual player. Number 11, the FAL. The FAL was in the spotlight recently with its buffs. It became capable of a one-shot headshot at most ranges, and the fire rate was cranked up. But to me, these buffs weren't enough to make up for the fact that its recoil is pretty severe and noticeable. In its case, it isn't made any better considered a semi-auto. To put in shorter words, this gun is effective, but its downsides don't make up for it, and it's not recommended for most players. Number 10, the Scar. The Scar is one of my favorite guns, and it made me very happy to see it appear in Modern Warfare. But when I sat down and used this gun, I thought it was very underwhelming. Although its high damage almost makes up for it, its recoil is very high, one of the highest in assault rifle category, if not the entire game, and the mag size doesn't help either. But there are positives for this gun. If you can manage the recoil correctly without damaging its mobility, it will dominate most of the close to mid-range gunfights, and might even help in some of the longer range engagements. Number 9, the Ram 7. The Ram 7 was the first DLC assault rifle added to the game, which made me very excited because I mainly use ARs. When I got my hands on it, I felt like it was just another average gun. Now that I was able to give it a better look, I have to admit that it is a very good gun at close to mid-range combats, but not viable at all at longer ranges. Its mobility reminds me of that of an SMG, and the tentacles also very fast and consistent. The recoil is very bouncy but manageable. All around a very good AR, but falls short in comparison to the others. Number 8, the AK. The AK is one of the most recurring weapons in the Call of Duty series, and it makes an appearance in Modern Warfare, and it's very similar to most of its other appearances. High damage, moderate fire rate, and slightly high recoil, most of what you expect from an AK. There are weapons that kill way faster and kick a lot less. I was never a big fan of the AK and other shooters, so it might be affecting my judgment. Number 7, the FFAR. The Famas or FFAR is the only burst weapon in the game, which may make some people turn away from it. The one burst potential is very high if you have good aim, and it's very easy to hit follow-up shots. The recoil is very unnoticeable, the reload time is similar to the higher tier ARs, and its mobility is also very high. Overall, this gun is recommended for every type of player, and will win you most of the gunfights. Number 6, the M13. The M13 is often looked upon as a toned-down version of the M41, and rightfully so. But that title does not take away from the effectiveness of this gun. While it is the AR that requires the most amount of shots to kill, it is also the fastest shooting AR in the game, with 933 RPM. Other aspects like the low recoil and great stability make this gun a great pick when choosing a gun to use. Number 5, the Kilo 141. The Kilo is the first AR you unlock after reaching level 4, alongside the Fal. But for a starting weapon, it's very strong, with at least 4 shots to kill, low recoil and high mobility. This gun is very useful in the starting levels and the higher ones too. Most people tend to ignore starting weapons in COD, but the Kilo is a gun worth checking out. Number 4, the AMAX. The CR-57 AMAX, or Galil, is an AK-type weapon that was added in Season 4. I personally was very excited to have this gun in my hands, as the Galil is one of my favorite guns from the Black Ops series. And when I used this gun for the first time, I was very happy. Aside from the recoil, this gun doesn't have many downsides. The moderate rate of fire makes it so you don't have to reload often, and the iron sights are barely obstructive. Overall, this gun doesn't have many points against it, as the recoil becomes less and less apparent with the attachments that become available for this gun. Number 3, the M4. The M4 is a classic in the Call of Duty series, a little brother to the Quad 4 M16, and even though it's not as strong as its brother, it still packs quite the punch. Although its stats are very average, this is what makes the gun shine. The moderate fire rate, moderate recoil, fast handling and versatility make this gun very easy to use, as it can be built in a variety of different ways, such as for CQB with the Commander or Predator barrels, or for long range with the Corvus or M16 barrels. To put it in short words, the M4 takes its strength from its simplicity and versatility. Number 2, the AN-94. The AN-94 is an assault rifle from the Black Ops series, and it made a guest appearance in Modern Warfare. And just like the AMX and the AK, it's a very potent weapon, with moderate recoil and slower movement speed. But what differentiates this gun from the rest is the initial shots. Once the trigger is pulled, 2 shots come out in a burst, and the following shots come out at slower speeds, but still at high velocity, which make this gun a murder machine, taking only 4 shots to kill an enemy, which means you can just double tap or put this gun in semi-auto mode, which defaults it into burst mode. Number 1, the Grau 556. The Grau was the second AR added to the game as a DLC weapon, and it has been a metal machine since it was added. The best way to describe this gun would be as an M4 on steroids. While the fire rate is lower, the damage is a lot stronger and the recoil a lot more manageable, 2 things that make this gun dominate the others. While it is not as good in close range fights, at medium and longer ranges it will punch a hole through your enemies. So that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. Be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you enjoyed. I'll be coming around next week with a new video.